lot of people want to start investing in real estate and they don't know where to start. They don't even know what asset class to start in, but I'm here to tell you the very best asset class of 2026 is.
Well, there's a lot of asset classes. I mean, I think a lot of people maybe even listening to this are thinking, okay, well, I buy real estate, I buy single family houses, or I develop, but I mean, there's boutique hospitality, there's large hospitalities, RV parks, there's mobile home parks, there's campgrounds, there's apartment buildings, there's small plexes, there's a million different asset classes, self-storage. What is it?
Well, let's try this. I promised to tell you the very best asset class in 2026. I want to know what you guys think is the best asset class in 2026, and I'll tell you what I think.
So, okay, I'm going to 10 seconds before I say what I think. Okay. I think it depends on what you want. Okay. Because for me, I want time freedom. I want to hang out with my family. I want to travel. I want a lot out of life, you guys. I want to really. So for me, I've ended on mobile home parks because they're low maintenance. The management is relatively simple.
Surprise. Mitch chose mobile home park.
Surprise.
What
do you think? What do you think? I've picked the worst asset class? For me, it's a great asset class. But I'll say this though: we own a hotel. Okay, I don't like it. I want to sell it. I want to be done with the hotel. I do not like the hotel. I could buy 10 mobile home parks for the hotel, but there's probably
in the hotel business.
100%. I met a guy one time at a mastermind who was like, look, all I do is I buy hotels that don't do weddings, and then we go do weddings and we make a ton of money, and he loves it. He works a lot. He's got a team and whatever, and that's his life. So for me, it depends on what you want, man. I want to be free. I don't want to work Thursday, Friday, work a couple hours Monday through Wednesday. That's my goal. That's my life goal.
You want time for you. You want to spend time with your family.
Therefore,
mobile home park. Okay.
HP.
Travis.
Well, yeah, but so I love mobile home parks. Mitch and I own Katie Capital Group. We invest in mobile home parks. Love it.
You do? You guys invest in mobile home parks?
Yeah, and you do too, Gabe. No, but Mitch, you said, they're easy to operate. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
You didn't listen to the whole sentence. I said, once you figure it out, we have an operational team. We've worked a long time to figure this out. We have an operational team. We have checklists and processes and handbooks, and we've got a lot of shit to make it simple for us.
But to your point, we can own mobile home parks. It's very passive. I mean, we get on a call once a week. In fact, we have one with our asset managers today, but we set it up to be more passive. You own a hotel, or you own even a nightly stay RV park, or even a self-storage, you own more of a business. And so, yeah, maybe you can drive valuations, you can drive cash flow, but do you have the systems in place to make it more passive? I think multifamily could be passive, although I would also argue that if you're investing for cash flow, Mitch and I say this all the time, multifamily spits off net operating income, which people think, okay, my cash flow is my income minus expenses minus my debt service is my cash flow. Yeah, everybody high fives and they get on their unicorns and ride off into the sunset. Not true. I think multifamily, all of your cash flow gets eaten up by unexpected capital events, especially now when insurance is going up 4x, especially now when every time you have a tenant that vacates, you're dealing with a $5,000 to $10,000 turn. HVAC goes out. All of your cash flow gets eaten up. I love mobile home parks because you just own the dirt. You're renting to people that own the sticks and bricks or whatever. And it truly is a more cash flow play. But so yeah, obviously we like mobile home parks. I think it's unconsolidated. There's still a lot of mom and pops out there that it's an inefficient market. You can find good deals, especially if you're a cold calling ninja like Mitch and you can go off market. But yeah, I go back to, we also have a nightly stay RV park that crushes too, but we have a great manager and it's way more passive.
Well, but that's very passive. I mean, you said nightly stay RV parks are not passive, and you're dead wrong about that. I think that's even more simple sometimes in the MHP. Well, you've said a lot of stupid stuff today so far. It's not even noon, so.
If you like what you're hearing so far and you are not making at least $120,000 a year with cash flow real estate or have millions of dollars in equity, come check out our 0 to 100 elite community. The link is below. Check it out. All right, guys, I promised you I was going to tell you the best asset class to invest in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What do you got, Gabe?
The best asset class to invest in 2020. It's real estate. No, look.
How did I guess?
Look. There is opportunities in every asset class, and it's finding those opportunities.
Reach.
Yes.
Multifamily.
Yes, multifamily has taken a hit. That creates an opportunity. The bigger the problem, right? The bigger the problem. And I'm not focusing on multifamily in 2026. I'm focusing on triple net commercial properties. But I think there's opportunities in every single asset class in every market cycle, right? And so, even though I made this big claim to tell you the single best asset class to invest in, the reality is it's you go where the opportunity is. I'm actually fairly location and asset class agnostic, right? Like there's opportunities in most markets and in most asset classes. And yes, you either become an expert in that asset class or in an area. But I think more importantly, like become an opportunist. If you're new to real estate investing, you're just getting started, or you just or you're learning to scale, create create like the knowledge base that you need to invest in whatever asset class that you want to invest in, because there is opportunities in retail, there's opportunities in industrial, there's
There's
opportunities
people crushing it,
in
all of them.
MHP and even single family, even though we bash single family a lot. And even in multifamily, there's a lot of people killing it in multifamily. So get knowledgeable. And I think the real opportunity in 2026 is those that build relationships, gain knowledge, and take some fucking action. And those that are willing to get creative in 2026 are going to win, because there's great opportunities in every market cycle. And 2026 is no different than any other market cycle. You find opportunities and then you take advantage of the opportunities and you buy some real estate.
Well, we were on a panel, Gabe and I were on a panel a couple of weeks ago where a guy actually exited several $1,000s of multifamily. I would argue had a pretty good time before people caught on to what was happening in multifamily. And he went all in, I think, on triple net industrial, or he's doing a lot of
Triple net retail.
Yeah, retail, like strip malls or no big box stores. But he has you talk about relationships. If I would sold off all of my mobile home parks and I wanted to go buy strip malls or whatever, or big box real estate, like where Home Depot or CVS or that type of stuff, I would be pretty screwed, because I don't really know where to go with that. And I also don't have the relationships. I think he has a lot of the relationships with these big box tenants. So he'll go buy. This guy's net worth went up like $40 million in a very short period of time. And Gabe and I were scratching our head going, what in the hell is this guy doing? And I got to thinking about that, Gabe. I think he has the relationships with these big box stores. He'll go buy a vacant building or fairly vacant strip mall or whatever the case is. And he'll pick up the phone and he'll start calling. And he knows what these people want. He knows what these companies want, the location, the demographics, the physical attributes of the asset. And you'll pick up the phone and then you take a vacant building and put a long-term tenant on a 15-year lease or a 20-year lease with rent bumps every year. You're going to add a significant amount of value in a short period of time. And that's transitioning from one asset class to another.
When you say that, it's like, it's actually less about the real estate and more about the network, right? And so like, I would say arguably the best asset class in 2026 to invest in is your network, is your relationships. Like, and we talk about this, not this surface level bullshit of like, hey, look, go into a stuffy room with a tie and a business card and say, hey, look how cool I am, make me some money, but actually build genuine friendships, relationships, have conversations with people, and, find where you can add value, because the real value in real estate or any business is those relationships. And I strongly believe, and those that have, listen to me talk long, for all these years, they hear me say the same things over and over. Like, we're one conversation away from taking our life or our business to the next level, one idea, one relationship, so I think, even though we were discussing real estate asset classes, I think the true best asset class to invest in 2026 is yourself. Invest in yourself, invest in your education, and invest in relationships.
Well, education too. I mean, when we're not talking about going and getting a bachelor's degree or master's degree, but if you want to,
Definitely not talking about that.
If you want to dive into this world, you've got to, I always say, learn the language of real estate, because if you want to speak it intelligently and earn trust from a broker, a lender, a partner, or a capital partner, whoever that is, you've got to speak the language. And so if you can build your relationships, speak the language of real estate, and understand how to find good deals, then I think you're positioned in the right way. The last thing is, like, ask what you want out of life. In my 20s, if I was really, really diving into real estate, I probably would have been a lot more interested in like hotels. I didn't have a wife and kids. I loved to work in my 20s. I didn't care about freedom necessarily. I'm 40. I have a brand new baby. I have a wife. I have kids. I've got a life where it's so much more important for me today to have time freedom than it was even 10, 20 years ago. That's why I position myself towards MHP. But depending on where you are in the cycle, you might want to go, hey, let's get busy. Let's go do some developments or do hospitality or whatever. So I think ask what you want and then line up your real estate asset behind that to support that life.